Morning peeps, good morning everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. Me and G-Man are filming the Q&A today being Wednesday. So get your questions in, you've still got time. And they don't have to be boxing related. In fact, I'd prefer them not to be boxing related. So yeah, get your questions in. A few of you have asked, what's the point in getting the questions in if the Q&A is only for members? This episode of the Q&A is going to be available for everyone. The members will get to see it first, but then I will release it to everyone. So yeah, get your questions in. The Q&A is about 30 minutes, so we try and answer as many questions as possible in that time. All right, let's see what there is to talk about from the world of boxing today. The comeback of Tyson Fury might be inevitable, but it's not yet official. Yeah, that's happening. Tyson Fury is definitely coming back. Whether it be to fight Alexander Usyk again for a third time. I think he tweeted something about that or put something up on his social media pages. I'm not quite sure where. Or AJ. I think AJ is more likely, but who knows? Look, or Daniel Dubois. I mean, there are options for Tyson Fury. Like if Daniel Dubois were to beat Alexander Usyk, Tyson Fury versus Daniel Dubois all of a sudden is a big fight. If Alexander Usyk wins, do we want to see a trilogy? Look, both fights were close, so I guess there is something in that. But let's be honest, it's all systems go for Anthony Joshua. That's the one. That's the fight we want to see. So Tyson Fury, stop playing around. Just get your butt back in the gym. AJ, get your butt in the gym. And can we get this fight on before the end of the year? Is that possible? Like, I don't see why it's not. What's today? Today is the 30th of April. Like, we can get that fight on. Surely we can get that fight on before October. Surely. It has to happen. And I think both of them would have been watching that fight, Eubank Ben, from afar, and both of them are like, okay, we just need to get this popping. Like, they would have seen that and thought, we want a piece of that. Talking of Eubank Ben, Ariel sat down with Eddie Hearn yesterday, and Eddie Hearn said the pay-per-view numbers are trending towards 1 million. 1 million buys. That's insane. That's incredible. I'm not surprised, and I am surprised. I'll tell you why I'm not surprised first. I'm not surprised because it was the perfect storm. Like, it was perfect. The build-up was just incredible. Not just the 2 months sort of from when the press conference happened, when I hosted the press conference and the egg slap, to when the fight happened, but the build-up's really been 2.5 years. It's been 2.5 years since their first fight was supposed to happen. And every time Conor Benn's been interviewed, he's been asked about Chris Eubank Jr. And every time Eubank Jr. has been interviewed, someone's asked him about Conor Benn. So they've been kind of building it up slowly for the last 2 years. And then it just ramped up to another level like we've probably never seen before. Again, the egg slap just reverberated around the world. But I think Eubank Sr. played a massive part in this. Again, I don't know. I still don't know. And what are we, 4 days removed? I still don't know if when he spoke to Seconds Out on IFL TV, he was playing a game, or that was just his feelings then, and it was an 11th hour swing. Some people say it was paid. Some people say other family members got involved. I don't know, and I don't necessarily care. All I do know is Eubank Sr. helped promote this fight massively as well. Massively. So yeah, it was the perfect storm. So I'm not super surprised it was 1 million pay-per-view buys. I always can tell, and I say this all the time, how big a fight is when people that don't really like boxing are either asking me for tickets or asking my opinion on a fight. When I go places and I don't even think they're boxing fans, and like, Ade, give me your opinion on Conor Benn. That means I know it's crossed over, not just to the casuals, but to people that really have no interest in boxing. That's when you know how big a fight is. Fury and AJ will be that. Like, Fury and AJ is a 2 million pay-per-view buy monster. Maybe even more. So yeah, I'm not surprised because of that and all those factors. I am surprised because 1 million pay-per-view buys is still 1 million pay-per-view buys. Like, in today's world of illegal streaming and fire sticks and people just, obviously, like, purse strings are tight. Let's be honest. And DAZN have quite a lot of pay-per-view events coming up. People don't really want to spend their money. So that's why I'm surprised it hit 1 million. There aren't that many. I'm telling you now, Canelo, Skull, and this Times Square event combined won't get 1 million. Do you know what I mean? There aren't that many people out there that can do 1 million pay-per-views. Like, okay, Devin Haney, Ryan rematch, depending upon how they both look this weekend, could touch 1 million. But again, remember, America's pay-per-view numbers or price is a lot higher than the UK. Canelo Crawford sells past 1 million. I mean, AJ Fury, yes. After that, you're scratching your head. Oh, that many. So, I mean, when two guys that are not world champions probably won't be world champions, I don't know. I feel like Conor could be, but I think Chris Eubank's going to have a tough time at 160 or 168 to become a champion. It's insane. Honestly, it's insane. It's a fantastic number. DAZN must be happy. I'm sure Sky Sports. And by the way, I think that number is just DAZN. I need to watch the interview back, but I think he's suggesting that number is just DAZN. Obviously, Sky Sports had it as well. Wow, that's incredible. Tickets went on sale today for Usyk versus Daniel Dubois, July 19th. Obviously, they'll be looking to get big numbers in. I do think it depends on what they can do on the undercard. And look, they've got, April 30th. So they've got, a couple of months to really ramp it up. I don't know if there was a face-off. I didn't do the face-off or anything, so I'm not quite sure. Those things normally help. When I did the face-off for Joseph Parker and Daniel Dubois, and there's a little clip at the end where they kind of go at each other, those things help. People like that kind of stuff. I don't know if that happened, so I'm not quite sure. But again, if they can get Joseph Parker versus Dillian White, again, I don't know if this is just me thinking what will really give it a bit of a boost. Joseph Parker versus Dillian White. Hrgovic versus Caballel, maybe. And something else, I don't know. If Moses comes through his fight in Scotland, get Moses the Talma on it. Talking of stadium fights, I don't know if you guys saw this, but I'm hearing whispers about Fabio Wardley and Jarrell Miller. I saw something the other day to suggest that they may be looking for another opponent. Let me see if I can find that article. It didn't say why. I'm just going to type in Jarrell Miller and see what comes up. Okay, yeah, see, Jarrell Miller bells on Fabio Wardley fight in last-minute shock withdrawal. The Sun are reporting that Fabio Wardley versus Jarrell Miller off just weeks before the fight as American pulls out. I don't know what the issues are, and it's a shame because their first press conference was a seller. In order to do a stadium fight, you need the opponent to be like a Jarrell Miller. Whoever they get in, I'm just trying to think of who they could get in. 1 second, I'm just going to go down the list quickly of heavyweights and see who is available and who's not available. But that's a big, big blow because Jarrell Miller sells a fight so well. 2 secs, people. Let's see who makes sense for Fabio Wardley that's not fine. All right, so let's do a process of elimination. Usyk, no. Dubois, no. Agit Caballel, maybe. Parker, don't think so. AJ, no. Fury, no. Coley. He's a name. We know who he is. There isn't any sort of big animosity or history between the two. Coley's not a bad name. Michael Hunter, I think he deserves another shot, but is that a name? Obviously can't be Dillian White, won't be Chisora. Hrgovic, is that enough time to turn around? There was a lot of talk about Kubrat Pulev early. You know what? There's not enough time for this guy, I don't think. But Andy Ruiz would be a great name. Andy Ruiz, I suggested to Andy Ruiz to Fabio Wardley a couple of months ago. And he's like, didn't really think about that name. Andy Ruiz, I don't know where he is. I don't know what's going on with Andy Ruiz. But look, there are opponents there, but it needed Jarrell Miller, didn't it? That's a big, big shame. Big shame. Big blow as well, I think. Sebastian Fundora to rematch Tim Tszyu. Xander Zayas and Jorge Garcia Perez to contest vacant WBO 154-pound title. Yeah, so purse bids was set, I think, for today for Fundora Zayas. Fundora pulled out the purse bids and he's going straight into that rematch with Tim Tszyu. I think in America, Fundora Xander Zayas is a much bigger fight. Much bigger fight. That's a shame. I hate fighters fighting for vacant belts. So it's just a pet peeve of mine. I don't like it, but Yeah, that's a shame. But it's going to be a good fight. Look, Fundora, Tim Tszyu last time around was a great fight. A really good fight. But I don't feel like there's been enough of a gap for us to see it again. I know Tim Tszyu came back recently with a good win. But, yeah, I don't know. That's the one win since then. I feel like I need a bit of a run. A bit like Dubois. Dubois has had 3 good wins against 3 well-known opponents, good opponents, and then it's like, okay, you deserve Usyk again. Tim Tszyu had that fight with Sebastian Fundora, lost. Then he lost to Bakram, devastating fashion, and then he's had that one fight. So he's had 1 win, and now he's getting another world title crack. Nah, not for me. Not for me. All right, guys, girls, it was a quick video. Again, incredible numbers, incredible pay-per-view numbers. If those numbers are true, and I can't see any reason why Eddie would lie about them, astonishing. British boxing right now was so healthy. There was a time a few years ago where obviously, look, football's number 1 in this country, right? Will always be number 1. But the boxing was certainly number 2. In the last few years, I feel like it's kind of dripped a little bit, and rugby has come up, and tennis, every time Wimbledon pops round, is number 2. I feel like boxing's in a position now where it could be the number 2 sport in this country, which is big. It's big. We're getting loads of shows. We're getting lots of big shows with Eddie and Frank both now on DAZN. We're getting their fighters mix it with each other. It's in a healthy place. And we're getting emerging stars as well. People that are going to take the sport to the next level or to the next space once Fury, AJ, Chisora, Dillian White, Josh Warrington, Lee Wood, those elder statesmen leave. I think there's enough fighters now that we shouldn't be worried as to how healthy boxing will be when those guys go, because I think we have a bunch of guys coming through. So, yeah, it's good space. Peace.